Small firms require finance for a variety of reasons, and understanding these needs is essential for business success. One of the primary reasons firms need finance is to provide startup capital. This is the money needed to get the business off the ground, covering the costs of purchasing equipment, renting premises, buying stock, and marketing. For example, a small bakery would need funds to buy ovens, mixers, ingredients, and to pay for the shop lease before it can start generating any revenue. Without sufficient startup capital, it would be impossible for a business to launch effectively. Another crucial reason small firms need finance is to manage cash flow. Cash flow refers to the movement of money in and out of the business. Even profitable businesses can face cash flow problems if the money coming in from customers is delayed while bills and wages still need to be paid. For instance, if a firm sells products on credit, there may be a delay before customers settle their invoices, which could lead to cash flow issues in the interim. Finance can help bridge this gap and ensure that the business has the cash it needs to continue operating smoothly. Related to cash flow is the need for finance to maintain liquidity. Liquidity refers to a firm's ability to meet its short-term obligations, such as paying suppliers, utility bills, and employee wages. If a small firm does not have enough liquid assets, cash or easily convertible assets, it might struggle to pay its immediate expenses, which could result in penalties or damaged relationships with suppliers. For example, a small retailer might need finance to pay suppliers for goods before it has sold those goods to customers, ensuring it can keep stock levels sufficient to meet demand. Day-to-day running costs are another reason small firms need finance. These costs include everything a business needs to keep its doors open, from utility bills and rent to staff salaries and transportation expenses. Even established businesses with steady revenues need to ensure they have enough funds available to cover these regular expenses. A small cafe, for example, would need finance to purchase fresh ingredients daily, cover staff wages, and pay for electricity and water. Finally, small firms often seek finance to fund expansion. As businesses grow, they may want to open new locations, invest in new equipment, or expand their product lines. Expansion can be expensive, and many small firms do not have enough retained profits to fund it without external finance. For example, a small manufacturing company might require additional machinery or a larger warehouse to increase production and meet growing demand. To meet these various financial needs, small firms can access different sources of finance, both short-term and long-term. Short-term finance is typically used for immediate expenses and includes options like trade credit and overdrafts. Trade credit allows businesses to buy goods and services from suppliers and pay for them later, helping with cash flow and liquidity. For instance, a clothing shop might purchase inventory on trade credit, paying the supplier after it has sold some of the stock. Overdrafts, on the other hand, allow firms to withdraw more money than they have in their bank account, up to an agreed limit, providing them with a flexible way to manage short-term cash flow issues. A seasonal business, such as an ice cream vendor, may rely on an overdraft during the off-season to cover costs until revenue increases during the busier summer months. For longer-term financial needs, such as purchasing equipment or expanding operations, small firms often turn to loans and hire purchase agreements. A loan is a fixed amount of money borrowed from a bank or other financial institution, which is repaid with interest over a set period. This is a common choice for firms looking to invest in larger projects, such as opening a new branch or purchasing expensive machinery. For instance, a construction company may take out a loan to buy heavy equipment like excavators or cranes, which it wouldn't be able to afford upfront. Hire purchase is another long-term financing option, allowing firms to pay for expensive assets, like vehicles or machinery, in installments while using the asset. A delivery company might use hire purchase to obtain a fleet of vans, spreading the cost over time rather than paying for them outright. In some cases, small firms can also access government grants to help with startup costs or expansion. Government grants are funds provided by the government that do not need to be repaid, making them an attractive source of finance. However, grants often come with specific eligibility criteria and may be targeted towards particular industries or regions. For example, a technology startup in a rural area might be eligible for a government grant aimed at encouraging innovation and business growth outside major cities. In conclusion, small firms require finance for a variety of reasons, including startup capital, managing cash flow, maintaining liquidity, covering day-to-day expenses, and supporting expansion. They can access both short-term finance, such as trade credit and overdrafts, and long-term finance, such as loans and hire purchase agreements. Additionally, government grants can provide crucial funding for businesses that meet certain criteria. By carefully choosing the right sources of finance, small firms can ensure they have the resources needed to operate, grow, and succeed in a competitive marketplace.